Always great talking to Julia Avila, who is going to be taking on Nicco Montano in a rematch coming up here on September 5th at UFC Fight Night. Julia, how's it going?
It's going great. You know, it's actually pouring cats and dogs outside, so I'm really glad I'm indoors and, not working out outside. So it's good.
Yeah, last time we did our interview, I know you were back at home. I guess you're back in the office now. The COVID stuff's lightened up a little bit.
There's still people popping. It's so funny. I say they're popping positive.
That works, yeah.
Yeah. Use the vernacular for everything, right? There's still people popping and getting it, and it's not going away. It's just something that's a little bit more manageable. And so, I'm careful. I wash my hands. I have my hand sanitizer. I wear my mask. Just being safe.
Good. Well, that's good to see things are kind of getting back to normal as best we can. The new normal, as they say, right? I think that's probably more accurate. This feels like a little bit like deja vu. Is this Groundhog Day? We're talking about a fight against Nicco Montano, which was supposed to happen earlier. It's now been rebooked till September. I imagine this is the fight you wanted all along. Otherwise, was there ever any options of fighting anyone else in between there?
Not really, because of COVID. There's a lot of people that are hesitant. There's a lot of people that haven't been training. And so, they offered me this fight. They offered her this fight. And I think it's great. It's cool to fight on such a big stage against each other, because I know she's a great fighter. I never sold her short when I first went up against her, and I'm not going to sell her short this time around.
And was you ever given a reason why the first fight got rescheduled? Was it an injury? Because I just sort of saw that she had withdrawn and you were trying to reschedule it. Did you ever get a reason? Was it an injury or something else?
Her coach got COVID.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, just to be safe then.
Yeah, and she didn't get it, but her coach did. And so just to be safe, they gave us an extra 4 weeks, which is totally fine. I'm at weight. I'm fine. I can fight next weekend if I need to. So it's just, it's giving us both a little bit more time to prepare for one another. I know that she's evolved and she's focusing a little bit more on her wrestling. So, yeah, let's just prep and get ready and go at it.
Is in some ways, is it a little bit better just to get a longer camp heading in, or would you have rather have fought a few weeks ago?
I've been in camp since February.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's a long time coming. Got to get back in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in camp since February because that's when I started for my fight against Cara Rosa. And then that got pushed back. And I had another fight scheduled for May. And then that got canceled. And then I got another fight offer for June. So I prepped. I had my fight. And I got my fight with Gina. And then they scheduled August. So I had 1 week of craziness, and then I had my full camp, and I've been in camp, and then they said, oh, hey, by the way, they're going to push it back another month. So I've just been perpetually in camp. And then helping out my fighters too, because not only am I a fighter, but I'm also a coach. So yeah, helping them out. I never make my fighters do anything that I wouldn't do. So I'm always in the grind with them. So yeah, it's
like an extra long camp basically. Yeah.
Yeah, just stay in shape, stay ready. I mean, sometimes I just drink a little bit more, so I'm I'm a little heavy, but that's fine.
How do you go about not overtraining when you're doing a camp like that? You think you're going to fight, you're getting primed and ready to go, and then, it gets rescheduled or something happens. Like, how do you go about not overdoing it? Because I know that does happen with fighters sometimes.
Oh, I'm perpetually overdoing it. It's my normal. So, my typical Tuesday is someone's like really, really hard Tuesday, like the hardest workout they've had in their life. Then again, my Tuesday may also be light for someone else. So it's just, it's all perspective and it's what your body can handle. I'm perpetually injured. I have a broken nose right now. I have a couple scratches in my eye. Like I train through it and I work smart. It's so that week off that I get for cutting weight, for making weight and everything, I'm like the healthiest I've ever been because I get time off that I don't necessarily have. So it's actually, it's kind of fun. I think that's why I got a 22-second knockout.
There you go. Yeah, no, that would make sense. You mentioned the broken nose. How did that happen? Just something in training, I would imagine?
Sparring. Yeah,
Sparring?
I
Okay,
was
gotcha.
sparring. Yeah, and it was a not freak accident. We were fighting for head placement and got turned into, and then I brushed it off. I heard the crunch, brushed it off, and then I went to my second round of sparring, and guy got on top of me, and I was like, ah, nope, I'm not gonna risk it. So I called the round, and it's just it's the smart thing to do. So taking it easy, just sparring is gonna be little to none for a couple of weeks, and that'll be fine.
Who have you been working with as far as camp? I'm sure everything's pretty much the same, but who have been some of your main training partners?
I have a couple bantams that are in my immediate team, a couple guys that I work with, and then a couple welterweights that I work with as well. Um, two pros and a couple Amis. And then I have some girls, part of my management team, over at a different gym that I work with. Sarah Alpar, she's also signed to the UFC. She's going to be fighting soon. I work with her, Christina Williams. Unfortunately, she recently had an injury, so but she was one of my main training partners as well. And all the girls, the Slady's team that we work with. So yeah.
That's good. And you mentioned the cuts going pretty well ahead of this fight. You said you've been eating, as good as you can sort of leading into this.
Oh yeah, no, my weight's great. Like I actually, so I'm a big girl. I'm not exactly a small bantam, but I try to regulate everything, and the UFC really helps out with that. Um, but yeah, I've just been perpetually like at weight, ready to cut, ready to fight. I'm always training, so just ready to go.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Um, Actually, a lot of people didn't know this, but my head coach backed out like the day of when we were supposed to leave for my last fight. And I'm not going to be anyone to hold anyone back from making money for their family. So he had some obligations that he had to do. So that was actually kind of messed me up mentally because that's my rock. That's my head coach. But my head coach for my last fight was actually what is one of my main training partners, who's an AMI. He's an amateur fighter that coached a UFC fighter with a 22-second knockout. So I think that's pretty awesome, and I give him big kudos for stepping up. So my head coach Seth Norman, he'll be there. Randy Ray, the amateur, and that also corners and is my training partner. And my husband, my wonderful Ron Swanson, Cody Shoemate, he's also in my corner.
Good. Yeah. So I was going to ask about that because I was wondering if there were going to be any issues with having, limited corner people because of the whole COVID thing, but it sounds like you're going to have a full crew.
Oh yeah. No. These are my ride or die. I wouldn't go anywhere without my husband. So when he was deployed, it was kind of an issue because I was like, I'm not going to fight without him. But as long as I have him, I'm pretty much good. He knows how I move and he knows what I should do. He's a great coach.
How's the fight playing out on September 5th? Because again, you guys had the first fight. I'm sure you want to, improve on the win from last time, maybe get a finish. How do you sort of see it playing out on September 5th?
Oh, I'm always looking for the finish. Always looking for the finish. But I know regardless of whatever happens, it's going to be better than last time because it's only going to be 15 minutes. Last time was a 25-minute brawl. That, I think the second round in, I blew my nose and my eye just went bloop. So I had one eye, I was pop-eyeing the whole time, or for 3 additional rounds. But this time around, I'm definitely looking for the finish. I know it's going to go to the ground. I know it. I know it for a fact. And I think it's going to be a great time for me to showcase what I'm capable of doing on the ground. I've knocked people out, and I've been stand-up for the majority of my career. So it's going to be really exciting for me to showcase what I can do and what I'm capable of. So hopefully, I get some sort of finish. I don't know. maybe a knockout. We'll see.
There you go. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Either way, it's always exciting to watch you fight. You've been a lot more active than she has, at least recently. Do you feel like that's going to play a role in the fight in terms of, her being out of the cage for so long? Like she had that long layoff, obviously, when she won the title. Do you see that as a factor in the fight?
You know, she's a really strong person mentally, and I feel like she's had to be, and she's just, I think she's going to be fine. It's going to be good. I don't think the layoff is an issue. She's a very strong woman, and both physically and mentally very durable. So I think it'll be fine. I think she's going to go out there with. I mean, she has a lot to prove. She has been off for a long time, and so I think a lot of people have eyes on her to see what she did during this time off.
Right. Okay. And you talked about having sort of a long camp. You did fight this year, but is the plan to get a quick fight after this if you come out unscathed, or do you want some time off just because you had such a long camp leading into this?
I would love to have a quick turnaround, but I also, I got screwed over pretty hard with not getting that fight bonus. I don't want to be taken advantage of, and I'm not going to allow people to take advantage of me anymore. So I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. If we work it out, then I'll fight the next weekend if I can. But it's all dependent. UFC has been good to me otherwise, and they've been very accommodating. So, the ball is in their court, really.
And we're looking forward to this rematch coming up here September 5th, UFC Fight Night. Julia, always appreciate you taking the time. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, the floor is yours.
I want to thank all of the people in Panda Nation and the people that have started following me, all of my new sponsors. Thank you so, so much. Just the outpouring and the positivity that people have been bringing to me it's overwhelming, and I really, really enjoy it. And I'm happy and proud and honored to be the face of Panda Nation. So let's go out there, let's win, and let's make our way to the belt.